Hello everyone, it's Gemma the Inspired Stamp here. Thank you for joining me again today. Now today's card tutorial is this double point fold card. On this one here I've used the new Jar of Flowers stamp set from the new annual catalogue with the Flowers for All Seasons designer series paper. And the coloured card base here, its green colour is Just Jade, which is one of the new in colours. Really pretty green colour. So this folds up and open. You can put a little message in underneath, and then it also opens like a regular card so you can write inside. Now I would recommend that you make this as a 10 fold card, so with the fold across the top of the card, because once you've embellished and finished your card, it can be a little bit front heavy, so just be aware of that. And as I said, I would recommend using a 10 fold card. So to make your card, you're going to need some card to make your card base. Again, I'm using another of our new in colours, the Magenta Madness, which is this beautiful bright pink colour, which I love. So I've got my 10 fold card, and that's just 4 1/8 of an inch, A4 size, that I've just cut in half, 4 1/8, left the full A4 length this time, and scored it at 5 5/8 of an inch to give me my card base. This piece of Whisper White that just came up from inside, that's what we're going to pop inside our card, and that's going to be to write our message on the inside, because I'm using a coloured card base. And that is 3 7/8 of an inch by 5 1/2 inches. Now the piece for the front that we've got is another piece of Whisper White that we're going to put our designer series paper onto. This measures 5 5/8 of an inch by 4 inches, so it's a little bit bigger than the piece that's on the inside. So we've got those. Then we've got 2 pieces of designer series paper. These are both 3 inches by 4 inches, and again this is the Magenta Madness in colour designer series paper. So we've got 2 pieces of that, and then I've used the largest straight edged oval from the layering oval die set and cut out an oval to match in the Magenta Madness. I've got a couple of bits to embellish it with, not too much, I'm not going too crazy on this, but I will show you those as we get closer to finishing the card. So let's move these bits out of the way, and let's concentrate on our 2 pieces of designer series paper. Now you'll see one of them here is I've already scored that at 1 inch. So I'm just going to bring my scoreboard in and score the other one. So it's a really simple score line on here. We're going to have our 3 inch side at the top of our board, and we're just going to score at 1 inch. Okay, so once you've scored it at 1 inch, you'll see we've got a large section and a small section here. Now I'm going to turn it over, and now across this side here we're going to put a pencil mark in at 2 inches. Now this is just to help us fold our point in. Okay, so I've made my little mark across this top edge where the bigger side is. Okay, and I've already done that on my other piece. Now let's get rid of the scoreboard, because now what we want to do is we want to fold in our corners to make a point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold that line out the way, fold it back, so you're only looking at the rectangle, the big rectangle you've got here. Now I'm going to grab my ruler and my scoring tool, and this little mark that I've made in the middle, I'm going to line that up with my corner over here, my edge, and I'm just going to lightly score that from point to point, and then I'm going to swivel my ruler over this side, and again I'm just going to score that from point to point. Now I folded this piece back so you can see where I'm scoring to. Okay, so once you've scored those 2 diagonal lines in, you can then gently fold these over. So the shape that we're going for actually looks like a bit of like a little boat. And then these 2 pieces, these 2 lines should meet together in the middle. Okay, so once you're happy with your lines, you can then go in with your bone folder and give them a good burnish. Okay, and then we just want to make sure that we can fold that over the top, because these are going to sit on top of our piece of Whisper White like so. Okay, so there's the first one done. And the other thing you can do is, once you're happy with your score lines, your fold lines, you can take some glue and we're just going to stick them down so they're not all flapping about. So we can put some there. Ooh, a bit too much on that bit. And there. Okay, then we're just going to let that dry. So now we can do the same with this piece. So I'm going to fold that small section back out of the way, bring my ruler in and my score tool, and then score in the diagonal line to join the 2 sides. So there's 1 and 2. I can bring these over, make sure I'm happy with where the fold is, check that it folds nicely and sits nicely, and then go in and burnish them again. And then finally pop some glue in. There we go. Now you'll see this designer series paper doesn't have a directional pattern on it. However, when I made this one, it does have a directional pattern. So you just want to make sure that you reverse the top and the bottom. Okay, I will take some pictures and further explain that on my blog for you. But for now, we have got our 2 like little boats done, especially if you look at them around that way, they look like little boats or hats. But they are now ready to be put onto our cardstock, onto our Whisper White front. Okay, so that's going to sit across there, and that one is going to sit at the bottom. So I'm just going to as well take these little corners off. So I'm just going to take a little wedge out of these so that you don't get the, so there's no risk of any bit poking out. There we go, so that gets rid of those. Now we can put some glue. It definitely looks like a boat now. We can put some glue on the inside here. And then we can line this up and fold this over. And then because we're using the wet glue, we've got time to give it a little wiggle around into position. So that is what the reverse side will look like once you've got that side stuck on. And then we're just going to do the same on the bottom. Again, put some glue on the inner side. And then our pieces of designer series paper are 4 inches, so they will fit across the bottom of our Whisper White perfectly, the bottom and top. So there we go, there's that side, so then I'll show you the back. So that is what you'll have on the reverse. and that is the front. Okay, so now is the time as well, if you wish to add in a message to go underneath your main front piece. I'm just going to move these bits. I've used, for the front of my card, so far I have stamped in the Magenta Madness ink our little sentiment here, and I've just cut that out with the 2-inch circle punch, just on some Whisper White. So, and that's come from the Forever Fern stamp set. So just one thing to bear in mind, that when you do your inside stamping, you want it to be hidden by the front embellishment. Okay, so you want to pick something that's going to be quite well hidden inside. I'm going to leave mine plain for now, and I'm going to put some glue on my oval at the top, and I'm going to hold these down. There we go. So I've added my glue to the top of the oval only. I'm just going to hold that in place, so just so that sticks there. So there we've got the front of our card. So if you want to put your piece on first and then stamp your image behind before we add it to the main card, that's absolutely fine, because you can make sure and double check that your words or image behind isn't going to show through. If you don't want to put anything behind it, and you don't want it to be a lift up card, you can then also pop some adhesive at the other end of the oval. Completely up to you. I'm going to stick this one down, and you can just stick that down at that end as well. So you're just using the double point fold as a nice decorative feature on your card. Okay, so there's 2 options there. Like the original one I've shown you is a lift up one. This one I've stuck both sides. So there we go. Now I'm going to add this to my card base. Okay, so I'm going to just use some glue and stick this down. There we go, so we can add that on. Just give that a good, I turn it over and give it a good push down. There we go. And that is the front of our card ready. Now, as I said, I am going to keep this quite simple. So what I've done is I have got here the Forever Gold Speciality Designer Series paper. And this is beautiful. It's got lots of laser cut, die cut designs. This is how they come in sheets. So I'm going to use this round one, and they are absolutely stunning. And they make such easy, quick cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of glue on the back. And they are also double-sided, so you could use the white side as well, but obviously I'm going to use the gold. I'm just going to pop that on there. I'm just going to rotate it round just so I haven't got any bits poking off the side. Whee, and straighten it up a bit as well. There we go. It's the joy of using the wet glues. You can wiggle things around to get them where you want them. And then I'm going to use a couple of dimensionals to add on my sentiment. So this is quite a quick and simple card. It's not too fussy, but using the laser cut elements, it's just so pretty, and they're really effective to add to your card. And then I have got some of the 2020-22 in colour enamel dots, and I'm just going to add a couple of these on. Again, the Magenta Madness ones. Let's use my pickup tool. Let's see if it'll... I'm just going to add a couple of these. Go and give that a little squeeze, get some more of the putty. I'm just going to add 2 of those on just to finish my card off. So there we go. So that's our front of our card finished. And then we've got our other piece of Whisper White, which again we can pop some glue on the back of and put that in the back, in the inside of our card. So remember, if you want to stamp anything on there, stamp it first and then add it into your card. But there we go. There is my double point card using the beautiful Magenta Madness and the stunning Speciality Gold Designer Series paper. So there we go. So as I said, a link to my blog will be in the description box below. There will be links below for everything I used in my video today as well. So click them, it will take you straight into my shop so you can shop with me now. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back again soon with another video. Bye!